Okay, so here's the instructional video on how to set up the sound and the video for a worship service. There's an instruction sheet that's up here, but let's go through the paces on the video. First, we're going to pop on the sound, which is this power strip back here. That kicks on everything. The brains of this operation is this processor down here, the audio, and it is warming up now. All the inputs of the sound go into that box, and then it gets properly balanced and mixed and sent back out to the speakers. And then we can go over here to the computer, and we want to turn on the computer. There's a power switch right down here, and then you can turn on the monitor if it's not already on, and it is already on. And then down here is it's called the scaler and mixer. And it's the Atlona, and it's got a power switch right there. You turn that on, and a little blue dot, that's the input from the computer for the video. So Windows is starting up, and soon we'll be live at 5. Hopefully, if nothing goes wrong. If something goes wrong, then we just, I guess, start praying or something. Alright, welcome. Here we go. We're up and going. Now we'd like to get the screens going up front. There is a remote for the screens. It's like this. And you take the power button and you just point it at each one of the projectors up there. So you go on and you go on. And every time I do it, I feel like, did it work? I don't know. Well, you just wait a few minutes and then you'll see that the screens will start to come on. And while we're waiting for that magic to happen up there, on the screen here, we want to start getting some things up and ready. So first of all, the main thing is to have ProPresenter jumping up there. So you double click on that. ProPresenter is the software that we use to show slides and video and everything else up on those big screens. And it takes a little while to come up. There it is. And when it does come up, it will send a blank screen output to the screens up front. So, alright, now that's all up and going. Now I'm thinking that when I pressed that before, those screens didn't. Let's try that again to make sure.
You're aiming not at the screens, but at the projectors.
Yes, aiming at the projectors that are above. And we should see those come on pretty soon. It's only when you choose to video a demo that things don't work as expected. But that's good. It makes it a learning experience. And we can see that the one on the right is slowly coming up and the one on the left is slowly coming up. I don't know if you can see this on your screens at home, ladies and gentlemen, but they are coming up. And they will quickly then go to just black because the software is up. But if I click on any one slide, then it will put it up there. And sure enough, the screens are warming up. At first, the color doesn't look too good, and as the projector warms up within about 30 seconds, then it's all good. So in ProPresenter, whatever you click on then shows. And you have a preview screen right here that shows you what should be up on your screens there, which, yeah, it's all there, it's all good. All right, and one other thing that it's good to know is that beyond ProPresenter here, I'm just going to minimize this so I can show you something you can bring up. If you think during a worship service you are going to have to be changing audio levels, adjusting them, you can click on this church audio, and we double click on this, and what this is a software program that is connected to our sound system. And so just like this mixing board over here, you've got a mixing board right there on the screen, and you have different channels, and they're all labeled. I don't know if you can see this on there, but there's there it is, pulpit, lectern, lec 2, lec 3, those are just other inputs that are labeled up at the front of the church. Under the lectern, there's another input. Under the pulpit, there's another input. There's a wireless microphone, the lavalier or the lapel mic as it's called, the CD player, and then the last one is for video and PC, which used to be for the tape player, but we switched it out. So now when we show any kind of video off of the PC, it will come through that input. And then those are the outputs, the IC8L and IC8R. That's just the model number for those two speakers up front on either side. And then the PN81L and PN81R, that's these balcony speakers right here that you have. So those will be the outputs coming out of there. And this 70 volt, that is a special output that feeds the nursery with the signal. And I think it might also supply it to the fellowship hall. But we just basically leave that alone and don't touch that much. This is master, is the main one if you want to turn the overall volume up and down. And then you can turn the individual inputs up and down there, complete with mute buttons and everything else. So you probably won't use this very often, but if you do want to adjust the sound levels from up here, this is how you do it. And when you're done, you want to get out of this, you click on, you guessed it, the big red exit button. Dun, da, da, da. And it's like, you sure you want to do this? Oh yeah. Okay, now, the one other thing you might want to know about on here is this thing called Sermon Recorder, which is just, it's been renamed. It's actually called something else, but we labeled it that so it'd be easy to figure out what it is. Now we have the ability to record sermons on the computer, so it'd be quick for upload. So during the sermon, you can switch over to this window, and or just have it open the whole time during the service, and you can record. And there's this little thing down here that says record a new file. You click on that, and then this will come up. And when preacher starts preaching, you just hit the record button here, record, and then it will start to record. Oh, and of course none of the sound devices are turned on. It's not getting any sound input. So that's why it's, there we go, now it's starting up. And so it's starting to record, and when you're done, you hit stop, and so you're done with the recording portion. You can close that out. So we didn't really record anything there, but then from there you could click on Save File, and it would save the file to the disk that we've recorded. So that's the basics of the audiovisual sound system in terms of setting up and running it. And we'll have another video for how to set up the content, you know, getting the bulletin stuff into the ProPresenter software.